Okay, we're here with Academy Award winning Michael Moore, filmmaker Michael Moore.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for being here.
It's an honor
today.
to be here.
Well, thank you. He's here on behalf of Senator Bernie Sanders, and he's helping us get aroused and awakened and get everybody out to caucus on Monday night. So I'm going to ask you some questions here.
Sure.
We're going to kind of tailor it toward what the poll.
Are they have anything to do with math?
No math.
Okay, good. All right.
Believe me, we'd both be struggling with
Yeah,
that.
I know. No, just saying.
You're a journalism major,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
So you know.
Well, I only have a high school education.
Okay.
So,
well, you had some college though, right?
I 1 year. I went 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a commuter campus.
Yeah.
I showed up the second year, first day, couldn't find a parking spot, and I dropped out. It's a true story.
Wow.
I'm not suggesting young people do this. I'm just saying that, I drove around for an hour looking for a parking spot.
Oh man,
That was it.
yeah.
Life turned out okay.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. My first question is, why should our members support Bernie Sanders for president over? I mean, we got some members that are supporting anywhere from Elizabeth Warren all the way to Donald Trump.
Well, first of all, let me say that I think that if you're for a Democrat other than Bernie, there are many good Democrats running this year. I mean, that's the truth. That stage was full of people that are pro-union. They want the minimum wage doubled. They believe in women's rights, the whole gamut. I think you could say that about most of the candidates on that Democratic debate stage. So the question really then becomes, who can beat Trump? Well, the polls show us that there are actually 4 or 5 Democrats. When they go head-to-head in a poll against Trump, they beat Trump. So then it's, who beats Trump the most? That's Bernie Sanders. He's consistently at the top of the Democrats when they ask the public the question, if it was between Trump and fill in the blank, Bernie, and more people say Bernie than any of the other Democratic candidates. So if our job one this year is to get rid of Trump, that's right there. That's the easy way to look at that.
Okay. All right. Second question. We have a sizable amount of Trump supporters among our ranks. What would you say to them? He wants to privatize the Postal Service. What would you say to them? Because it sounds to me like they're dug in with Trump for one reason or another.
I understand why a lot of them voted for Trump. Remember, Trump didn't just run against Hillary Clinton. He ran against the Republican Party. He stood on that Republican debate stage and crucified Jeb Bush, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, in such a vicious way, too. Not just against their policies, but called them names. Said that Ted Cruz's father had something to do with the Kennedy assassination. I mean, he went so overboard in attacking Republicans. And I think a lot of people who voted for Trump, there's 8 million Obama voters that voted for Trump.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people voted for Trump not because they liked him, not much to like there.
Right.
And not because they agreed with his policies, if he had any. It's because they saw Trump as a human Molotov cocktail that they could throw into the system that has made life very hard for them and blow up that system. That's how they looked at Trump. Because whether you're a postal worker, whether you're an auto worker, whether you're working in a cubicle somewhere, your wages don't go up. You have to fight so hard to just get the little tiniest of increases.
The scraps
that are left and you're mad. You should be mad. And so along comes somebody like Trump, and they're like, well, I don't really like him that much, but man, he's going to mess them up. And I think that's a lot of where the Trump base was at. Now, if you're still for Trump, 3 years into Trump, and you're a union member, you're a postal worker, he wants to privatize the postal union, let me tell you what's going to happen with that. A third of you are going to lose your jobs right away. And like what has already happened with the auto workers union is there's now a 2-tier pay system. So if you've been, like, say, a postal worker for...
We have that now.
And you already have that now, too?
Yeah. This local voted against that in their contract, but that was in what,
2010.
2010, yeah. So
most of this two-tier stuff happened during the Obama years. It was
yeah,
very
which was
sad.
surprising.
It was surprising and sad.
Yeah.
That's why we need a fighter this time. We can't just vote for somebody because we like them or because they sound nice. Or they're, you know, Bernie doesn't sound nice because he won't be nice to all the people who are making life miserable for the people that are living from paycheck to paycheck. So when people say to me, "Oh, Bernie seems grumpy," I say, "God, I'm glad he's grumpy. We need more grumpy right now. We need more people mad at what is going on." Wait till you get sick. You have health insurance, you know, because you're union members. But wait till you actually get sick. That insurance company, that private profit-making insurance company, they are going to do everything they can to not cover you, to try and deny claims. That's how they make a profit. The more they deny claims, the more profit they make. But all of us who have our, you know, like I'm a union member, I'm a part of the directors union, and I'm a writers union.
Right.
And I've never read my 60-page medical contract with Blue Cross.
Right.
If I did, there's so many exceptions and so many things in there.
Sure.
And it's only when you get sick, or a child of yours gets sick, or your parents are elderly and they're really sick, and you find out, you think, "Oh, we're okay. We got Blue Cross." "Oh, really?" "Yeah." Wait. You'll see how much you're covered. Health insurance should not be in the hands of a private profit-making corporation. Would you put the fire department in the hands of a private profit-making corporation? The police department? You know?
My house would burn down.
That's right. That's right. First of all, they try and do it with as few firefighters as possible.
Exactly.
Right? They'll make every person will do the job of two people. Right? Which you've seen happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And the whole thing with the postal union and all the speed it up, and we're tracking you. And, you know, the next step, I've always said, the next step with the postal workers, they're going to put ankle bracelets on you. They're going to have those like Fitbit.
I'd love to.
They're going to have those Fitbit things so they can time you and track you. And it's we're laughing about it now, but when somebody's going to discover this video in 10 years and go, "Wow, man, Mike and the dudes at the postal in Des Moines said this 10 years ago."
Who knew?
And we laughed at it like it was a joke. It's not a joke.
Yeah. Put a pin in this time.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you tell people who remain disengaged from politics, especially the younger voters?
Yeah.
What would you tell them to do? I mean, this seems like such a critical time right now.
Yeah.
What are the things that people need to know to get them to move their own personal needle? Because I hear people all the time, "Oh, my neighbors, I don't want to be bothered.
I don't want to be bothered with politics."
Right.
Yeah, I don't like. I'm not interested in politics. I hear that all the time.
What I always
people say to me, you know, I'm not interested in politics, and I say to them, "Well, I'll tell you something. Politics is interested in you, because the political establishment is every day looking for ways to make a bigger profit for the 1%, and it's at your expense. And they don't want to do good for you. They've got you in their sights. And I mean, that's everything. It's not just big issues like healthcare or college or whatever. It's about that railroad crossing that should have an arm coming down and bells and lights going off, but it just has a little railroad crossing X.
Mm-hmm.
And how many people have been killed crossing those tracks? That's politics. That's politics. When you're in Flint, Michigan, and the water coming through those pipes has lead in it, and that's not just true for Flint, but it's true for many cities, that's politics. The fact that they haven't fixed the lead in the pipes, that's politics. You can't ever say, if you're breathing, if you're standing and you're breathing, that, "Oh, I have nothing to do with politics." Oh, really? Politics has a lot to do with you. And that's why you don't make more than you should. You should be making more.
Absolutely.
And if your kids want to go to college, they shouldn't be in debt for the next 30 years. That's politics. You know, if you're a woman making less than a man, that's politics. Politics is hammering you every single day. So don't ever say that you are sitting it out. You might be sitting it out because you're not voting. It ain't sitting it out on you. It's sitting on you. And I think we're going to see a record number of young people vote this year. I can see that right now.
Yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah.
All right, I have no other questions.
Hey,
Michael Moore, thank you
thank
so
you,
much
thank
for
you.
being here.
What
It's
a great
pleasure to
local
meet you.
here that you have.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for stepping out and even being ahead of the national there. But the national union came along,
Yes, they did.
and everybody across the country loves their mail woman and mailman now.
Yes.
Yeah.
We loved you before, but well,
We're the most liked federal agency.
yeah, you know why? Because you're the only federal people. You're our day. Every day we only have contact with one person from our government, and it's you.
Yes.
It's you. It's the most amazing system if you stop and think about it. The smallest villages that have a post office.
Yeah.
It's why I don't think most people know this, but it's why, like, if there ever was an outbreak, say, of this virus that we're dealing with now, we actually have a system in place, and we are prepared to use the U.S. postal system, because if we needed to get, say, a medicine to everybody, how would we distribute medicine to 330 million people? It would take weeks and people would die. But no, this is what's so cool about this country, and we were really the first country that had this universal postal system. And the way that this is, you guys already know this, but the way that FEMA has this set up is that if we needed to get medicine to everybody, you, the postal workers, will deliver it to us the next day. The next day, we will have help, because an agent from the federal government will bring us the medicine, and that agent is you. And so we need to keep our postal service alive and thriving. And again, you know, Bernie, I think, has his own ideas about this too, where it's not, people now think, well, yeah, you know, we exchange emails and all this, and what I have in my box is a lot of junk, what we call junk mail. There are so many things that we have an infrastructure set up.
We could expand into postal banking.
Oh, well, he's for that. Bernie's for that.
Yep.
There's so many things that we could use our postal system for, an infrastructure that is 250 years old. And we know how to do this. We can dispatch the mailwoman and the mailman to every. Did I leave any out?
No.
Every single home, apartment, dwelling in America. We will have help from our government. We the people.
Yes.
The government of, by, and for the people. We will be helped within hours.
Absolutely.
Because of you guys and you women. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
People
Thank
need to
you.
know that
Yep.
about
Yes, they do.
both the emergency level and also the other things like postal banking and the other things we can do with our postal system. It will be a crime if we let it shut down. You know, I mean, if we treat the postal service like Blockbuster Video, you know, like whoever thought Blockbuster would ever be out of business?
Right.
And, you know, but times change. Technology changes. But the need to have a connection to our government, you are our only daily connection. And we need to figure out how else can you help us.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
So